she's going to go on another mission. So if you got rosaries you don't want, you can put them right in the box. Okay. Keys to life. Here's another one. How to move from victim to accountable. I love this because every time you say, I'm under a lot of stress, or I've had a bad week, or I've had this happen, or I've had that happen, then we are playing the victim. How do you go from being the victim to accountable? Life isn't fair. We know that. We know that. We know that. The Bible doesn't say, in the beginning, God said life is fair. Doesn't say that, because it isn't. We know that for a fact. Also, there's that whole negativity. Isn't it awful? We're trying to lose weight and we can't have brownies and hot fudge and ice cream cones. Isn't it awful that we can't have pizza, that we can't eat when we have problems? No. I feel that if we take accountability, I can say to you, oh, I weighed 338 pounds, and I could give you a story that would make you all weep. You'd lay your heads on the table here and say, poor Ellen, poor Ellen. I still weighed 338. It doesn't matter how we got here. We have to just say, okay, that happened. We deal with it. We go forward. And I love the book Man's Search for Meaning. If anyone says, I really want to read a really good book that I haven't ever heard of, Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. I got it and read it in college, and it's one of those that I still have because I loved it so much. One of the things that this article talks about is we need to take personal responsibility by taking a CPA approach. Did you create, promote, or allow this to happen? Oh man, when you start looking at it, it's really good. And that's especially good when you create drama in your life. When you say, wow, did I create that drama, or did I allow that to happen? Or did I promote it in any way? And I find if someone says something a little negative to me, I find myself now just saying, that's interesting. That's really interesting, But if I go, well, you too, and you, and this and that, and then I'm helping creating it, I'm promoting it, I'm allowing it to happen. And this is a long article. Read it in your own time. But what it talks about is you take anything that happens in your life and you recreate it to see what part you had to do in it. So let's say your purse got stolen and you ate a hot fudge sundae because you were so upset. Well, did you leave it unguarded? Did you leave it on the bar and go to the bathroom? What part did you do? Were you talking and not listening? Yeah, well, maybe you did do that. And did you allow it to happen? Or whatever it is that's causing you to eat, take personal responsibility for it and move on, because if we wallow in the mire and the muck, we'll never get out and we'll never lose weight. And I love this line here. You choose. Would you rather play along with the possibility of being 100% accountable, or would you rather stick to the victim stance of life happened to me and I had no choice? Even if you lose your job and you say, those people were so bad and they stink so bad. I know this one person, and she's had several jobs, and it's always the company. That company's so bad. They're terrible. They don't know what they're doing there. And then the next job, I had to quit that job. It was ridiculous. They just don't know how to run a place. So on the 5th job, I'm thinking to myself, I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the way she's doing, looking at it. If we say, well, maybe even my own new job, I'm kind of looking at the lay of the land. I'm thinking, this is interesting. Oh, wow. I'm not going in here and saying, here's the way I think the whole company should perform. You kind of sit back and you look and you listen. You have to take that own responsibility. Then it talks about 3 keys to personal accountability and creating a better life. I am responsible. Although I may not be able to prevent the worst things from happening, I'm responsible for my attitude toward the inevitable misfortunes that darken life. Bad things do happen. How I respond to them defines my character and quality of life. I can choose to sit in perpetual sadness, immobilized by the gravity of my loss, or I can choose to rise from the pain and treasure the most precious gift I have, life itself. And I can't tell you how poignant that quote was, especially to me this week. I can't tell you. We can choose. True freedom begins and ends with personal accountability. If we say loving ourselves is the basis for accountability, if we're not the victim, if we say, you know what, maybe I allowed that to happen, but you know what, I'm going to move on. Now, we're not talking about child abuse and bad things like that. We're talking about things that happen in our daily lives. Even if you didn't allow it to happen, if it's your reaction. If someone goes out of their way to be mean to you and say things that just aren't true, and if you go, maybe they're in a very bad place, I'm not going to let her bring me down. I'm not. We can create a better life for ourselves and others. We're going to lose people. We're going to lose family and friends. That's what life does. We can go into a dark despair, or we can celebrate their lives. We can think of them with a smile, and we can go forward. That is what our choice is. Finish each day and be done with it. You've done all that you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it well and serenely.